What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to give you an overview of what is really prompting it to go higher, what the current data points are saying, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is up 13.1%. Very volatile day, as you can kind of see from this intraday chart right here. So all over the place. Did have a low of $3.76. 31.13 million shares have been traded so far. 58.51 is the average. So big money is getting back into SoundHound. And as I've said over the last couple of videos, all it needed was either a good piece of news dedicated to the company itself or on a larger scale. And regrettably, it's not really anything to do with SoundHound today. Rather, it is just the PMI coming in a little bit lower than the anticipated 52. So came in at 50.9. So even though that is lower, it still is above 50. So it shows the overall economy is strong, but at the same time, it is a little bit lower than the forecast. So potentially justified reason for there to be rate cuts, as weird as inverse as that sounds. So I think ultimately that's somewhat of a good thing for the broader market, and big money clearly is buying up SoundHound left, right, and center. As of late, there's been no recent analyst ratings, as you can kind of see right here. So last one was done, what was it, 13 days ago, $4.90 price target, Cantor Fitzgerald. Hopefully there is going to be some more analyst ratings sooner rather than later, especially maybe correlated with what was just announced as of yesterday after hours. So it looks like SoundHound AI to report 2024 Q1 results, and that's going to be on May the 9th. So I think ultimately that might be a very good catalyst, at least in the short term. And so obviously if data is good and signaling maybe something special up their sleeve or something like that, then you could see SoundHound get reinvigorated with a lot more capital. So it's just another, I guess, 2 weeks from now. We just have to sit tight and wait. But right now, though, it is getting above a very key resistance level. So I'll talk all about that. Starting off with shorts. Right now, shorts aren't necessarily believing today is justified. So they are increasing 805,000 shares. 18.97% of the free float is being shorted, and that works out to be 50.78 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 96.08, and then cost to borrow average is 16.57. Through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate around 250,000 shares is available to be shorted. So shorts are somewhat running out of ammunition. Take that with a grain of salt, of course. And just to go over some data points. So starting off with options, 1.49 million in calls, 377 in puts. So dollar value isn't necessarily getting into options or SoundHound options, so something to consider, but 55% of all the options being done so far today are optimistic and bullish. And of those bullish options, there's a consensus for it to be above $5 in the foreseeable next couple of weeks. So I think that's a fairly positive thing, and once I go over the technicals, it'll make a little bit more sense. And then looking at puts, you do see consensus for it to be sub $4. So risk versus reward is very much in favor of upside, despite the lower volume, or through options at least. And then looking here, these are some of the transactions that have occurred so far on the secondary market above $100,000, as well as dark pool. So both exchanges a lot more active than previous days, so it's getting the attention that it probably deserves. And as I brought up, I think it wasn't necessarily last video, a couple of videos ago, I like to use this website now. And so this website is just AI, so I've been playing around asking it questions. So I did say, is SoundHound a buy right now? And it did say yes, it is a long-term position right now, or at least it'd be advantageous to enter into a long-term position. Goes over the explanation of the idea, why it feels it's a long-term, so you guys can pause it and read through that. And yeah, so I think all in all, that's a fairly good thing. And like I've signaled in the last couple of videos, if this AI is signaling that it is a buy, so will big money's algorithms and their algorithmic trading. So I think overall that's maybe something positive. But when it comes down to my channel, I like to focus on the technicals. So right now with it at $4.30, it is trading between this S2 and this S1. So even though things looked very, very grim, even based on my last video, I said, you know what, things are looking scary because it was within this range. So it was able to fight back into this S2 to this S1. So right now, $3.58 is going to be that strong support. So definitely going into the rest of the week, a lot of earnings coming out, but regardless, watch for that that 358 to hold, and then vice versa, the next strong target, which might be touched today, I don't really anticipate that, so maybe tomorrow, of $4.88. So I think right now the technicals are looking a little bit more optimistic. Even on the chart itself, it did fight back into this range right here, so it's probably just going to trade within this 50 to 100-day moving average once again. But if there is that nice continuation of momentum, then it could transition into the higher percentile sooner rather than later, and then that is $5, which oddly enough, like I said, is signaled by that options activity. So things are looking a little bit more optimistic. I know it kind of seems weird and inverse, the fact that we are rallying based off of data that didn't come in line with the forecast, because it still kind of signals that the economy is strong and expanding, and B kind of signals behind the scenes that there might be rate cuts, which of course really drives a lot of growth stocks higher. So I think SoundHound might be a very interesting play to keep on your radar. I know I've been back and forth, but that's because of the technicals. It's been a crazy roller coaster, and you can kind of see just based on the fib levels, very wide gaps. So there is going to be a lot of volatility in the foreseeable future. So let me know your thoughts on SoundHound. Give yourself a shout out in the comments if you have been buying, if you have been selling, what have you been doing with SoundHound? One final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the 𝗪𝗧𝗛. So that is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.